So welcome to a late night edition of Mod Men. Tonight's going to be a little different. It's not something that you can do really fast, which is what we've done with other late night videos. Tonight we're going to focus on the Killer Bee oil pickup. One of the things that definitely recommend getting for any Subaru build, even if you're not building the engine, replace the pickup, please. Do yourself a favor. And then I've got a bunch of bolts in here, so you probably can't see it, but it's the Killer Bee windage tray. And the purpose of the windage tray is basically to keep oil off the crank, supposedly sapping horsepower and whatnot. We'll see what happens. So I got Josh. He's the awesome engine builder that's bailed me the fuck out. And, well, you know Luke. So let's have some fun with this video.
Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do, we've already done the prep work. We've primed a little bit here on the filler tube pickup. And we've done a little bit of other things. We cleaned off the oil pan a little bit with a wire brush and some razors to get all that RTV off. As you can see here, we prepped it with some carb cleaner and whatnot, cleaned it up a bit. So that everything's clean for the install. And so the next step we're going to be doing is this windage tray. Josh is going to thread these bolts in here real quick and get this installed. And like Mike said, it's going to prevent that the oil from sloshing up and coming back onto the crank. One of the things that helps prevent is the loss of horsepower and torque and whatnot. It's really good. You guys ever take your Subarus out to track days, or you do autocross, or you do your fun little mountain runs or cruises? That oil in the pan tends to slosh around, and you don't want that getting up in the crank. Just bad news all around. It tends to froth, and you don't want bubbles in your oil. So what he's doing right now is threading these bolts in for this baffle. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and thread on the pickup here.
We can get all this shit through getsomefast.com, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
And one of the reasons we're putting the Killer Bee pickup on is in the past some of the Subarus have had problems with the OEM pickup snapping or breaking off under a high lateral load or higher than normal lateral load. What this does, it's obviously all stainless steel construction. This thing is immaculate in the way they've designed and built this thing. There's a lot more rigidity in the tube and the pickup altogether to prevent that kind of failure.
So how tight do these got to be, Josh?
I don't know.
Just hand tight?
Yes.
All right.
No. Late night edition.
Right?
Feel nice and snug down in there. So we can feel.
So it's a lot easier with the engine out of the car, as you can see, because normally you'll be working upside down, and it's a freaking nightmare. But it's doable. You can do it. Just put the car up on a lift, unless you really like laying on your back for a really long period of time and cramping up your shoulders.
Yeah.
Played that game.
If you do have the car on the lift, or if you're doing this without the engine out of the car, you'll need to unbolt the engine mounts to lift the engine up a little bit, because these back bolts right here, the front subframe actually interferes with your access to these bolts here in the back of the oil pan, or the whole situation there. So much easier to have it out of the car, flip the engine over on an engine stand, and do it like this versus having it in the car and working underneath the car, because you do have to disconnect the engine mounts and get the engine up a little bit to get access to these bolts back here. It also makes cleaning and prepping this surface for the RTV that's going to go on so much easier. Yep.
All right. So, RTV.
fun stuff. But what are we aiming for when we do the RTV? What size bead are we looking for?
It's a nice solid bead right across the center here without too much excess into the point. Just close the loop.
So there's about a million theories on the ways to apply RTV on these. Yours is probably better than ours. We know. But this is the way we're doing it. So
really what you want to aim for is about an 1/8 inch strip, as you can see, between an 1/8 and a 1/4 inch strip here on the oil pan where it has the divots in between the bolt holes. And you're going to be good. And just like Josh is doing right now with his fingers spreading it around, make sure that's a good solid seal all the way around the pan so you don't have an oil leak, which we all know is bad for these motors, oil starvation and whatnot, which is one of the things we're trying to prevent with these new parts. So it looks about ready. We're going to go ahead and slap it on. Fine. He's gonna grab.
all right. So if I've never done this before, this tube, which way do I want this to be pointing?
Towards the driver's side.
Towards me.
All right.
Towards the driver's side. Obviously, the small side goes down here. Check, make sure you have your seal installed. This one here, a lot of people forget the little O-ring.
Super easy. You've got a nice little hole right here. Transmission side and radiator side. You've got like Josh said, there's a seal right here, a nice little tube corresponds with this hole. Real easy way to align the pan as you throw it on. All right. Good. Line it up. And what we're doing right now is trying to clean any extra silicone out of these holes the bolts are going to go in through. And that's important. You get any extra RTV or silicone seal on the top of the bolt as you're threading it in, it's going to make your torque readings inaccurate when you go back around to torque these bolts on the oil pan. I'll grab a few of these from you and start lining them up.
All looks good. It looks drinking beer. Okay, Josh is getting fucked here. He's actually working the wrench.
Yeah.
And we're both drinking beer. So you basically went through, you tightened down every other one
Yes.
as you went through. No need to cross torque or anything like that, right? Okay. Right now he's just putting them at 1 JTU.
Yes.
That's a one Josh torque unit. For those who don't know what JTU is, because we're buds.
That's right, buds.
Speaking about buds, I'm gonna have a bud.
Hell yeah, or maybe some IPA.
Hey guys, we're all done. We did the baffle, we did the pickup, and we got the oil pan all sealed back up with some silicone seal. And that's going to go back into Mike's car for this year. It's going to be in the A Street prepared with this 2015 STI. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button. It's like going to be right there. More links in the description if you need to go over to Get Some Fast. The link right there on the Get Some Fast icon will take you to the Get Some Fast website to be able to purchase any of these parts that we put on tonight. And feel free to come over and check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/ModmenUnlimited.
Yeah, that's about it. And there's plenty of links, and we're doing some fun stuff on Facebook as we get it rolling. So
yeah, let's have a beer.
I'm down for a beer. Let's do it.